Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. Sorority secrets of the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS Legacy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere.
I got a minute to take a look at the trailer for the new Disney Plus series, Ms. Marvel. And to me, it's a marvel that this horrible project got greenlit, because I saw nothing in that trailer that would make me care about this series at all. When I looked at this Ms. Marvel trailer, I saw some of the worst production values for a Marvel Studios project, and what I saw on screen looked like Lizzie McGuire on crack with a little bit of the old 1980s syndicated series, My Secret Identity. Now, My Secret Identity back in the 80s was a show that was made low budget, and that could be an excuse for the show's really cheesy special effects. But your Disney Plus is pouring all of this money into The Flash to make Ms. Marvel into a top-tier show, but it has none of the substance of the storytelling of a truly great MCU movie like Iron Man, or even a decent series like a Falcon and Winter Soldier. No, your Kamala Khan Ms. Marvel adaptation is just absolutely terrible, and I never saw any sort of clip in this trailer that made me want to care about this character. Now, your Ms. Marvel as an adaptation is going to be deviating from the comics as related to Kamala Khan's powers, and your Kamala Khan is not going to be going out here and getting her powers from an inhuman Terrigen Mist. And the reason why is because Kevin Feige doesn't want any connection to that horrible Inhuman series that came out a while ago. So instead of giving Kamala Khan these powers based on the Inhuman Terrigen Mist like she got in the comics, now she's getting some bracelets that give her superpowers. Unfortunately, giving her different powers doesn't change her character, and her character has no real personality, her character has no real voice, and her character comes across as flat and one-dimensional and has no real reason for making you want to endear to this character. It's some of the big problems that the character had in the comics, because the character is basically there to meet some sort of diversity quota, and because she's there just to meet a diversity quota, she fits all of the diversity checkboxes as related to being a Muslim character instead of being a character who practices the Muslim faith. Now, there is a big difference between a Muslim character and a character who practices the Muslim faith, because Dust of the X-Men is a character who practices the Muslim faith but has a very compelling story, a great voice, and makes you care, whereas Kamala Khan is a character who is Muslim and is basically there to meet the diversity quotas and basically be a stereotype that fits whatever they want and makes them say, hey, we've included this character, and this character has, again, no real personality, no real voice, and no real story, and that has always been a core problem with the character, and this is why the character never really resonated with many comic fans and never resonated with members of the Islamic community, because when they would see this character who had no real personality, no real voice, and went out here and was going completely against everything as related to the Islamic faith, they really looked at this character and said, this is not something we want to go out here and support. And this character on screen, again, she just comes across as really flat and practically dead as a character. She has nothing there that makes you say, hey, I want to go watch this character. I mean, outside of her just being there to meet whatever diversity quota Marvel Studios wants to meet, this character has nothing there that makes you connect with this character and say, this is a person I want to spend an hour of my life with and see them having fantastic adventures. I mean, I thought Hawkeye was a pretty bad show with Kate Bishop, but this show is looking like it's even worse than your Kate Bishop Hawkeye, who had, again, no real personality, no real voice, and basically came across as I saw superheroes and I want to be like superheroes, but the whole thing is a superhero, what makes them interesting is not I saw a guy in a costume and now I'm going to try to put on a costume. No, that's a cosplayer. That's not a superhero. A superhero is a character who has a mission, a character who has a direction, and a character who sees purpose in going out here and doing what they do. This character of Kamala Khan does not have any of the tragedy that drives and motivates Peter Parker to go out here and be Spider-Man. It doesn't have any of the tragedy that drives Tony Stark to be Iron Man. There is nothing there that really motivates this character to be a hero outside of looking outside at a Captain Marvel, a character nobody likes, and that's not something that's going to make people really connect with this character. Oh, you like a character that nobody likes in the world, and then you want me to watch a series about somebody trying to copy a character that nobody likes in the real world. This whole series getting greenlit makes absolutely no logical sense to me, and this whole series, when I see it on screen, makes no logical sense at all. I mean, this series, when I look at the trailer for it, it's just absolutely terrible, and there's no real reason why this series should be here. I don't see how this is going to connect to the larger MCU the way your WandaVision or your Falcon and Winter Soldier would connect to it, and it really shows me a clear decline in quality at Marvel Studios. Kevin Feige made a major mistake greenlighting this series, and he made a major mistake going out here and investing Disney money into a character that is as I call it, creatively totaled. And what creatively totals the Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel character, is the fact that her structure isn't based on anything as related to substance. Now, what makes a character somebody that resonates with readers is the fact that, again, they have a mission to and motivation for what they do, and it's that mission and motivation that make us care about that character, and that character wants to be a hero for a selfless reason, but your Kamala Khan wants to be a hero for a selfish reason. And just like your Kate Bishop, this selfish character is not somebody we want to connect with or care about, because she doesn't care about people. She doesn't care about taking responsibility. She doesn't care about doing what's right. She wants to be a person who is a hero for vain reasons, and the whole character is basically an avatar of Sana Amanat and a self-insert to put herself in the Marvel Universe. And this self-insert character inserted into the MCU adds absolutely nothing of value to the MCU. And this entire series is just, when I look at the clips for the trailer, if this is the best of the series, then this is going to be one of the worst Disney Plus series ever produced, and one of the biggest disasters for the MCU since Eternals. And yes, many people may go out here and watch that first episode, but I don't see this series going to get the big views like other series like Falcon and Winter Soldier received, because there's nothing really here of substance to connect you to this Kamala Khan character, who, again, has shown us that she's a creatively totaled character. And the big problem over at Marvel Studios and Marvel overall is that they keep trying to take this creatively totaled character and they keep trying to rebuild this character. And they've tried this at least about 6 or 7 times with this character in the comics. I think she's had 6 or 7 reboots over the last 5 years. And when you keep rebooting a character that has failed, basically this is the definition of insanity, because you're doing the exact same thing and expecting a different result. And the result Disney and your Sana Amanat want is for Ms. Marvel to become a popular character, but that character can't become popular because her structure is completely rickety. The structure for the Ms. Marvel character is one that had faults in it from day one. You have a hero who wants to be a hero for vain reasons, not selfless reasons, and that is the main reason why the Ms. Marvel character, does not resonate, because she's a character who wants to be a hero for not really heroic reasons. And her main reason for being in the Marvel Universe isn't because she's her own character. No, she's basically there to represent a religion and be a token for a religion. So that's another reason why the character never really got over, because you need to be more than just a person who is there to represent some sort as related to diversity, and you need to have your own story. Peter Parker has his own story. Tony Stark has his own story. Steve Rogers has his own story. But Kamala Khan is a footnote to Carol Danvers' story because she wants to be like Carol Danvers. But why would I want to read about somebody who wants to be like somebody else when I can read their own story? That's the critical point that flies over the heads of people at Marvel and Marvel Studios regarding Ms. Marvel, and that's why this series isn't marvelous. It's just far below mediocre, and it's looking like it's going to be another big disaster for Marvel Studios. Now, your Kevin Feige really needs to get himself together, because a lot of the projects he's been greenlighting lately are far below par, and while he had a big success with Spider-Man No Way Home, this takes your Marvel right back down to the level of Eternals, and I say even below Eternals, and there needs to be some real thought as related to things, as related to the direction of the MCU, because all of these subpar projects like a Ms. Marvel and Captain Marvel, they do damage to the brand, and this Ms. Marvel character, while they're trying to make her into Green Lantern, doesn't really light the way to make you care about heroines. As a writer of heroines in fantasy stories like Isis or Eaststeam or the Spinsterella trilogy or Eternal Night, one of the things I know how to do with heroines is make it where you care about their lives, you care about their stories, and you create a person that you want to spend time with. When I looked at Kamala Khan, I saw somebody who was basically very annoying and irritating to be around, and somebody who didn't have any sort of character transformation arc to show how she was going to grow into confidence. I basically just saw a whole lot of identity politics to cover up a very weak character, and I saw a story that really was not really ready for, that just could not be adapted into a quality story. The writing here is just not, on the source material, isn't good, so that means the adaptation of the source material isn't going to be good. It doesn't matter if you deviate as related to your Kamala Khan's powers. The problem is the character at the structural level just isn't somebody who can connect with the reader or the viewer. It's not somebody there that has any sort of substance to their personality, and there's nothing really there to make you connect with this character in the 2 minutes of the trailer or the 2 minutes of their story. All I saw basically was a rehash of an old 80s syndicated show with the same cheesy production values, and it didn't really come across as something that would meet the standards of a 21st century MCU movie. All I saw was just, again, an absolute trash production that just was far below par, and just an embarrassment when you consider the vast resources of Disney and Marvel Studios. Your Ms. Marvel, again, isn't very marvelous. It's just absolutely far below mediocre, and it is an absolute disappointment, because I know that there are people out here who could do better, and this is not anything near the best of even a small independent production company today. Now, if you want to pick up some of my books featuring heroines like the Isis series, the Eaststeam series, Eternal Night, or the Spinsterella trilogy, you can find those books on Amazon.com. in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me do more roast videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other 2 books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online bookstores everywhere today.